everyone, and welcome to the HRL Forza Short Track Showdown. This is week number 4, and we're going to be doing Eaglerock, this first moto on Eaglerock, and you can see the qualifying results here. I definitely want to highlight the top 3, take a look at how close of a fight it was for the pole. Myself, Matt, and Solange were all really close for the pole positions. That was nice to see. Actually had a couple close qualifying battles. I think it was Maple Valley was also super close. So nice to have another really tight qualifying session here.
I don't know.
And we're going through the intermission, and we're going to be setting up the fuel and tires here in a moment as well. This one's going to be a little bit different. I messed up, and Matt messed up as well, and I don't think anybody else saved the replay either. So we really trolled. On race 1 here. This one was just kind of a weird week because a lot of people had stuff going on apparently, and we were also it was Daytona week, so there was races going on in the background. We were distracted, so yeah, it was just a weird week, weird timing here, and yeah, we're just distracted and forgot to save the replay for the first race. Luckily for the second race, we regained and definitely did it. And next week, I'm definitely going to, like, I don't know, put like a pin message in my chat or something. I might even put a fucking sticky note on my screen. I don't know, just reminding myself to save the replay. Because yeah, definitely would have liked to have the actual replay, but unfortunately didn't. So this is going to be a little bit of a different style then. Gonna do this like it was I don't know, like a normal video on my main channel, doing, you know, an online race, because it's essentially what this is gonna be, with it just being on my point of view the whole time. We'll talk about the race, we'll talk about I don't know, just like the Forza experiment in general, and stuff like that to kind of make up for the fact that the replay got cheesed here. So here we go for the start. We actually have the in-game rolling start. We actually did have a few issues, but luckily we're able to get everybody joined back in while we're in practice, which was nice to see. And you know, maybe we can do the practice a little bit earlier. Like maybe I could start the practice at like 8 o'clock my time instead of waiting for everybody to join at 8:30. Maybe I could just start it at 8, put it to unlimited, and you know, just invite everybody if it seems to work, because yeah, in this instance I think we had Coop and Solange that were having problems while we were practicing, and we're able to get both of them back in, and we didn't have to do any lobby reset, anything like that, and we're able to do the start correctly the way we wanted to. So yeah, so now that we know for sure that mid-game rejoin, it seems to work pretty well actually. Now that we know that, maybe we'll switch it up, and maybe we'll do it that way. Maybe I'll switch the settings, make it like unlimited time limit for practice, and start it like 30 minutes earlier than I was, maybe an hour earlier than I was, however I want to do it. And yeah, open the lobby or ask for invites or whatever, and just have the practice open and running. The only thing with that is I wonder if that could have any effect on the replays at all. It shouldn't, because the replays don't have practice or qualifying, but I don't know, there's just weird issues with this game, so I wouldn't be surprised if it cheeses the replay somehow, even though it shouldn't have anything to do with it. So we'll see. But yeah, maybe we'll mess around with that, because that might be a little bit more convenient for people, because some people have been getting on pretty early, and to just have the practice lobby open, and that's half the fun of the night too, is just the hanging out. Got into the wall here, a little mistake. So Solange gets a really nice run to the inside, and I hope it's audible in the video, but I swear his tire screech is just like insanely loud here, and he had an opportunity right there to get a pass and get this battle going, but I think he maybe got a little too far inside on the apron. And when you do that, you lose a lot of traction, and it's if the person on the outside is definitely slower, but if the person on the outside stays steady and you go under the apron and get loose, I mean, you're gonna get passed back up. So I think that's what happened with Solange right there. I'm assuming that's what happened with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, a slight window right there, which honestly would have been pretty sick if he made the move stick. We got a little lead battle here, but unfortunately had a bit of a setback, and he's gonna have to try to reset, regain, and try to get back into it. But Matt, you might be wondering, well, what happened with Matt? Because, you know, Solange, Matt, and I were like damn near tied in qualifying. Why is Matt not here? He went for a. I think he was the only person to do anything different in race 1. He started on hards, so he's on hards. He's gonna go for softs late in the race, so he dropped back a bit early, which is not too surprising. Being on the hards, his times are naturally going to be a bit slower. And you know, what didn't help him as well is if there's a lot of battle action, I think that really helps the hards runners. Like if everybody's like battling super hard, I think that's really good for people on hards, because you know, battling slows up people on mediums and softs a little bit, because they don't get to run their preferred line. So I think that's really nice for the hards runners. But there haven't been as many crazy battles. Now Opix and Roman are at least starting to get into it a little bit, and I think that'll benefit Matt, because I think Matt is in 5th. And yeah, I think that'll help him out a little bit. But we'll have to keep an eye on him on the interval as this race goes on, because yeah, as this first stint goes, he should start to gain quite a bit once the tires start to fall off for everybody else on mediums. And then he'll be on softs at the end, so he'll have a bit of a gap there to catch up to, but he will have the faster compound to make up for that. So yeah, should make things interesting. We'll have to see if he does end up in the you know, in the battle for the win, in the battle for second. But I think he should be, you know, battling for the podium for sure. But we'll see how it works out. But yeah, so, you know, trying out the oval night, it was unfortunate the timing that happened with so many people, and that, you know, we had such a small lobby this night, because I was really excited about trying the oval, and I definitely think that you know, not having as full of a lobby definitely deflated it a little bit. But the nice thing was that we still had some good racing, some good battles. And I think this plus the testing that we did last week was a good proof of concept for, you know, oval racing. And if we do another Forza series, or the next Forza series that we do, we'll definitely try to work some more ovals, and maybe like a bigger variety of ovals in there to race, because yeah, I think they have really good potential for good racing, especially the drafting ovals. Like, I think the biggest thing right now with our series is that people are just at such different levels on the game, with, you know, different levels of skill and different amounts of like time played, and the ovals do equalize that a little bit. You know, some of them, the ones that have more braking and stuff like that, and like this one, for example, that's not as much the case. But like, for example, like Daytona or Indy, like or even Homestead, depending on the car that you're running, like the bigger ovals are way more draft focused. And, you know, there's less letting off, less braking. So it's, you know, very, very draft focused on those. And it essentially is just draft wars. So like, that's basically what it is. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun, to be honest. So yeah, that type of racing is really, really fun. So when we do new series, we'll definitely look into that, and, you know, having a bigger variety of ovals, because I genuinely think that they're some of the most fun racing that we can have right now. Even though, you know, some of our road course races have been very good. Like in particular, that Maple Valley Moto 2, I still think back to it. I hope we have a race before the end of the season. We do have 2 more road courses before we're done. One of them is a Triple Crown as well. So we have, you know, 5 opportunities, 5 motos. I hope one of those races winds up playing out like that Maple Moto 2, but we actually get to see the end of it, because I still think back to that one, and I'm just like, damn, like the way that worked out was just so awesome, and it was a lot of fun. And you know, the lag out with Solange sucked, because the way it was playing out now, and then Detail going off too. Like, if those 2 things didn't happen, the way it naturally would have played out would have been really, really cool. So yeah, still sad about that. On the bright side, you know, one of the races that'll be going up in my catch up here, I'm not sure when I'm uploading this, if I'm uploading it first or not, but Lime Rock Moto 2. The Lime Rock Moto 1 was pretty chill. Lime Rock Moto 1 was probably like the chillest moto. Well, besides this one, actually, this one probably overtakes it as the chillest moto. But yeah, this or Lime Rock Moto 1, probably like the chillest motos that we've done. So not too much happened, but Lime Rock Moto 2 was actually like really, really freaking good. And it's unfortunate that I didn't get held up more, because I did have a nice gap for the lead in Lime Rock Moto 2. But the second place battle through 5th was really good, and it reminded me a lot of the battles that we had for those positions and the Daytona races, and it was really fun to watch, and it felt like making up for that Maple Moto 2 a little bit, in a way. So yeah, definitely look out for that Lime Rock Moto 2, because those front spot battles, the way that they ended up, I think, well, technically, yeah, I think it was like the battle for the podium spot, like 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's what it was. This was like the battle for the last podium spot.
Yeah.
Was just awesome, and the way that their strategies worked out, and the way that they all closed in on each other, and the way that they're battling with each other was really freaking cool and really fun to watch. And there's a lot of chaos early on in that race that was fun to watch too. A lot of really cool highlights, really cool moves, close calls, stuff like that. So yeah, that Lime Rock Moto 2, I think, kind of made up for the Maple Moto 2 for me peeling off into the pits here. I think it made up for that race for me a bit, which was nice because I kind of needed that a little bit. Like, it's always a bummer. You know, we've been doing this for a long time, but even though we've been doing this for a long time, it's always a bummer when you have like a close race naturally working out like that, and then, you know, it's something in the game, whether it's like a lag out or in Halo, like the Gophers, like some glitch, something like that, that kind of like ruins it. That's always, even though we've been doing this for a long time, and even though we're kind of like used to that happening sometimes, it still really sucks, and it's still a big shame when that happens. And it's really awesome when things work out, you know, when things work out the way that they should, and things play out the way that they should. Like, we had one that I think back to kind of recently, although it's been about a year now, or close to a year now, is the Rolled Oak Mega Mix Halo race that we did last year. Like, that one was a good example. We even did have like a caution restart in that one, I think, but it still like worked out in a really cool way, and the way that that race like naturally progressed and played out was just like awesome. And I love when things work out like that, and just the potential for like the cool shit that we can have when everything works is really awesome. So even though what I'm getting to at the end of this like bullshit tangent is like, even though we've had like some tech issues and the lag outs, we've had issues on all the sides, and then the thing with the replay now at this one, like all of the issues, right? With the Forza stuff. I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I'm still seeing like really good potential with it, and I still, you know, still definitely want to give it another go, because, you know, this first series that we're still in the middle of doing here was like, with these cars and with these tracks, was kind of like a test series, right? It's a you know, short track showdown, like essentially like a test series. Though we've been kind of messing around with stuff, messing around with the settings, tweaking the lap counts, stuff like that. Like, next week, who knows? The vote was over. I should say that in this video. The vote is over. Brands Hatch Indy won. So that's what we'll be racing in that slot next week. And I think that track, I think the majority did a good job on that one. I think that track is awesome. Don't get me wrong, I liked all the tracks in the voting, but after testing it, I'm like, yeah, that was a good choice. Brands Hatch, that one's really fun. I think that one has a lot of potential to play out similarly to Maple Valley, the short Maple Valley, and I think the short Maple Valley was some of the best racing that we've had yet. So yeah, I'm really excited for that Brands Hatch race. We'll see how the final track with the Grand Oak Club, we'll see how that plays out. I think that one could be good too with the Triple Crown. But I honestly think this Brands Hatch Indy circuit's really good, and I think it could produce some of the if we have you know, some of the main like heavy hitters, if we have those people, you know, show up and we have a nice lobby for that week, I genuinely think that week with that track could produce some of the best racing that we've seen. But yeah, so staying committed to it, because this is like a test series, and I really want to see like how things play out when we're used to everything, and when, you know, hopefully a lot of those issues are sorted and stuff like that. So I definitely would like to do another Forza series. I definitely would like to step it up with the car a little bit. I definitely would like to amp it up with some of the tracks that we're racing. And, you know, hopefully with all the testing that we've done with this series, we know like what settings, what race length, all that stuff, the tire wear, all that. Like, we have a good grasp on that. And, you know, hopefully we won't have to worry about forgetting to save the replay as much. You know, hopefully Solange can get the crash action or whatever he's dealing with settled a little bit. And yeah, hopefully we have all the settings figured out so that all like the game side issues, like with the replays crashing and week 1 and stuff like that, hopefully that's not all an issue. Hopefully this series gets all of that, you know, by the end of this series we have all that ironed out. And then like what we could see with the second series, I think is what's really exciting. And then not just like with us figuring out the issues and ironing those out, but just like getting people getting better too. You know, will lead to more competition and will lead to better stuff, because I've already seen that. Like I think everybody, I honestly think everybody has improved a decent amount now that we've been doing this for about a month. And it's been nice to see that progression, and it's been nice to, you know, see people get a little more aggressive and with their moves and with their battling, and get a little more comfortable with the game and with the control in this game, and to see like those aggressive moves and that aggressive battling, but without like, you know, stepping over too far and without it being like a wreck fest or anything. It's been nice to see that progression, and I'm really excited with what we could do with, you know, natural progression of us getting better with running the series, and also just better in the game with the second season, with amped up, you know, an amped up race car, again, like amped up racetracks, like some of the actual full length tracks. You know, maybe we could fit in another one of the short ones or two in there still because they're fun, but, you know, get some of the actual like full length circuits in there, throw some of the ovals in there like I was talking about, some of the bigger ones, or just like more of a variety of the ovals. Yeah, get the tire wear dialed in, all that stuff, and just see like what we could do. And there you go, Slaunch lag out right there. That was a massive tangent. I went over so many different fucking things in there, but I guess the gist of everything was that I'm still, you know, still looking forward to doing more stuff on here, and I feel like everybody else has been kind of on the same wave too. Like I feel like everybody's been having a pretty good time with it, so that's nice to see. And, you know, hopefully that continues for the last 2 weeks, because if it does, then yeah, I'm definitely down to work on something else, and really excited, really hopeful for what it could turn out to be, because it's been a really fun change of pace. It's been a really fun change of pace, and it's been nice to see that we can still you know, put on a good show, even not on Halo, even with a different game, we can still put on a good show and still do our own thing, and it can still turn out really cool. Okay, so that was basically what I wanted to talk about. That was like a joke because I just talked about so much. But that was pretty much it for me being on my soapbox for this video. And yeah, that was basically like the protocol cheese action, I guess. Because you know, we had air to fill here. But we're getting close to the end of this race, and yeah, Slaunch lagged out. And I think the way we're gonna settle this one is because Slaunch definitely had, like, I think Slaunch definitely holds on to a podium. The only thing that was in question is Matt was on softs and not gonna have any tire wear because he pit late on the softs, and Slaunch was on mediums that were gonna be, you know, running out. Although not too bad because he did pit late with me. But I think how we're gonna end up settling this one is Slaunch definitely wouldn't have dropped out of the podium, but he also you know, wasn't able to race the last 5 laps. So I think what we'll do is like a 1 position like dropout penalty, have Matt in second, have Slaunch in third, so he still holds on to the podium. But it was just like a tough call, because like missing the last like 5 laps of the race, it feels kind of wrong to me to give him the exact same spot, even though he's probably holding on to that spot. But at the same time, mistakes can be made. There's 5 laps, it's a lot of time for stuff like that to happen. So, you know, giving him like the exact spot doesn't necessarily feel right to me, but him still holding on to the podium, I think, is fair. I think it's like a fair compromise, because he still ran most of the race, and I honestly just feel bad. Like the lag out, I just feel bad. Like it's just been really frustrating to watch, especially because he's been putting in a lot of work and he's been really solid in our Forza series so far. So yeah, it's just been really sad to see the lag outs constantly happen. But here we are at the end, and you can see Matt's softs came in at the end, and he was able to clutch up and get up to second. You know, Opix holding that spot. I ended up taking the win here. But again, we'll give Slaunch third, so it'll be me, Matt, Slaunch, Opix, Roman, and then we'll see the rest of the order when we get around here. Although we just have Coop and Ramda besides Slaunch. Yeah, so just be Coop and Armada, I suppose. I had a big sneeze action. Wow. But yeah, so obviously first moto, pretty tame. But definitely stick around for Moto 2, where we'll be back with the actual replay. And I promise you that Moto 2, even with the lobby that we have, that the Moto 2 will be a lot spicier, and will be really fun to watch. So Yeah, I
I've
really
only
like the
got
Moto
one
2 for this
finish on
night,
the podium.
and it got pretty interesting. It got pretty interesting. So, yeah, definitely stick around for that one.
Yeah, no.
Doing
I've
our
literally done
post
medium,
race
medium, and
parade
every
lap here.
race this season because
But yeah,
sauce
so
didn't
covered a lot of
really do it
stuff.
for me.
Let me know
It
what you
just had
thought
too much grip
in the
because the
comments, since
oh,
this is a
rubber
little bit
bumper for
different,
whatever
more
reason.
discussion video with
And
the
then
race in the
March it just
background because of
slowed, so
the,
it's like, you know
you
what?
know, unfortunate not saving of the replay. But yeah, let me know what you think of the Forza stuff now that we're on the last two weeks, because I pretty much went over all my thoughts. I'm still having fun with it. It seems like a lot of people are still having fun with it. Definitely excited for how we could amp it up a little bit. And it's been nice to see the progression of it. Nice to see everybody get more comfortable with the game. And yeah, just excited for the future, because I think this is really cool. Not like we're gonna be running this for like 5 years straight, like it's gonna be the new Halo stuff, but we could definitely get some more series in on it for sure. There you go, full results, lap times, all that stuff there at the end.
Does it tell you
Podium
what
shot
mine
in too,
was
even though it's a
before
little
I lapped it out?
inaccurate, but there you go. GG's, and see you guys in the next one for Moto 2.